All right. Good morning, everybody. It is still morning for me. It's going on 10 a.m. in Los Angeles, 1 p.m. on the East Coast. I'm an hour late. I actually just woke up. I overslept. So we're getting started a little late today, but we're going to have some good crypto news. There's going to be 4 articles that I'm going to cover this morning. So if you're logging in, go ahead and type in the chat box where you are from. Got Ray Fountain from the 216 in Cleveland. LaShayna Robinson. Foos. Tony Pinkston. Shauna Ross. Bouger. I'll be talking to you right after this call. Saturday morning. You guys have anything major planned this weekend? Me, it's still all about crypto. That is the crypto life. 216 is Cleveland. 214 is Dallas. Emma from Nigeria. What's happening? Yeah, evening in Nigeria. As a disclaimer, I'm not a licensed financial advisor to be dispensing financial advice. I read the news, give my opinion, share suggestions, and it is up to you to make an informed, intelligent decision on which direction you want to move into. There are 4 rules I live by in the crypto space. Rule number 1, education is key. Education is everything. Rule number 2, always get your return on investment back as fast as possible. Rule number 3, wait a second. I have that mixed up. Rule number 2, never invest money you cannot afford to lose. Rule number 3, always get your return on investment back as fast as possible. And rule number 4, where do you see yourself in 3 months, 6 months, a year from now? What are you willing to do to make it happen? What vehicle are you choosing to use? Make a decision, take action, and stay focused. Do not get distracted. There's so many things out there that can distract you in this space. You have limited resources and limited time. Multiple streams of income is great, but you need to secure one stream of income first and then move from there. Now, this is not going to guarantee you success, but it will at least minimize your risk. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the most that we can ask for. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. When we begin by we got to look at the charts, and I need to actually turn on screen share so that you can see what I'm looking at. Okay, first up, let's look at the charts. What's going on in the crypto world today? Crypto market cap. All right, we've got 221 billion, so it's held at the 220 billion mark for at least the last 24 hours, which is good. Bitcoin dominance is still at 51.4%. Bitcoin has retraced. It's down to 6,500, but it seems to be holding there. Ethereum and Ripple are up. I'm not surprised. I'm going to read some news today that will, I can't say guarantee, but I won't be surprised if Ripple and Ethereum go up in the next couple of days, which means there's some opportunity for you there. Well, we're going to read the article and see. Bitcoin Cash is, everything looks flat. Everything's flatline. But I can't tell yet if this is on an upward or a downward flat line. You know, looking at this, it looks like it's kind of on the upward, but Tether is still basically almost, this is flat. So the market will go either way. If I pull up one of the exchanges, the Bollinger Bars look like they're probably squeezing right now. So it can break in either direction. So I don't want to make any prediction on that. But look at red coins up 16%. Anything else major? 19% Pivx. Negative 13% gas. Remember that explosion? That was a pump and dump right there. Because it went up like 80 or 90% and that was dropping like a rock. That was a pump and dump. What about electronium? Electronium seems to be trying to make a move. Let's take a look. ETN. Ooh, down 9%. It's still above 2 cents though. A week ago, it was at half a penny. What about MOLK? Mobile Link token is down 10%. Still at 2.5 cents. This is still just based on what they're doing. I think long term, this is going to be a hit. So while the coin is cheap, this might be something you want to start stacking up on. Again, I am not a licensed advisor. This is just something I would do. You do your own research. Remember, I told Bouger about this. And I say, do some research on it. And she did. All right, let's go over some of the articles here. First up, we're going to go international news first. And I find this very, very interesting. I'm a political science major, history buff. I love knowing geopolitics, what's going on around the world. And I find it very interesting that Africa seems to be a hot topic when it comes to crypto and blockchain. Unfortunately, I'm not hearing it that much from Africa. What I am seeing are, we can call them colonialists, that are looking to take advantage of Africa. There's one thing, and I'm going to be writing a book on this, and I'm going to be careful about the topics. I don't want nobody stealing my idea, but I'm going to be doing it anyway. How Bitcoin, crypto, and blockchain is ultimate freedom. Ultimate freedom. For the first time in human history, there is no barrier of entry. The only barrier is the individual's willingness to learn. And that's it. And that's crazy. If you look at, in the United States, the history of minorities in this country, how they were not allowed to learn certain things, were not allowed to read and write, because knowledge is power. And now that we have the ability to learn how to educate ourselves and read and write and all that good stuff without anybody telling us we can't, most don't do it. So the only barrier of entry right now is your willingness to learn. And in Africa, that has been historically taken advantage of, and I'm got to choose my words carefully, but exploited for hundreds and hundreds of years by outside forces. It is happening again. So one of the main nations that is exploiting Africa is China. And they've been heavily investing in Africa for the last 20 years. Wait, what do you mean? How are they exploiting Africa if they're heavily investing in Africa? Because their investments come with a price. Because it's not necessarily investments, more of it as it is loans and building infrastructure that they control. And when the nations cannot pay back these loans, they take over. So if you don't control your nation's resources, you don't control your nation's infrastructure, you don't control your nation's money, you don't control your nation's crypto, you ain't in control anymore. So China is very interested in the blockchain and crypto market on the continent of Africa. I haven't even read this article yet, so I want to see if this kind of can back up some of the things I've been saying here. I like that. Free your fiat, Bitcoin or die. All right, let's go into China. Chinese billionaire and co-CEO of technology company Ideanomics, Bruno Wu, believes the blockchain could be the solution that helps African countries trade their minerals and natural resources efficiently and profitably. Stop the press. Hold up. China has banned everything crypto to their people. Yet, they talking about what Africans can be doing with their resources and blockchain. Don't you read the signs there? This is the modern day version of exploitation. I don't just read articles. I break this stuff down. Modern day exploitation of Africa's resources. Yeah, you guys, if you guys get the blockchain, you're going to be able to really control your minerals and stuff. Yeah, our company is going to come and build the blockchain for you. Yeah, we're going to give you your own digital currency for your country. Oh, yeah, well, we'll control it, but yeah, we're going to give it to you. 2 billion Africans don't have access to a bank account. Guess what? We're going to get you guys on the blockchain that we control. They may come in looking as saviors, but you got to read in between the lines. Let me not get off on a tangent. Just read. Wu made the comment while speaking to entrepreneurs and investors at the Africa House Collective event held in New York recently. Here we go. Wu's company, Ideanomics, formerly called Seven Starts Cloud Group, has invested heavily in artificial intelligence and blockchain companies through companies they acquired and partnered with. The tech company uses the new technologies to disrupt new markets. Since when is Africa considered a new freaking market? It's the oldest market the world has ever seen. Everything came from Africa, yet they're looking at it as a new market. See, the question I would ask them first up is, what are you invested in China? Oh, they banned everything, so you can't. I mean, I know Alibaba, Jack Ma, has multiple patents on blockchain technology and is going to implement it into all of his e-commerce stores. See, stuff like that, adoption like that, is why your opinion on this doesn't matter, because you shop and buy stuff every day, and whether you like it or not, Amazon, Alibaba, all these companies, Walmart, they're all going to be using blockchain. And you're not going to have a choice. But let me stick on topic here. The tech company uses the new technology to disrupt new markets. The U.S.-based company. Okay, so there we go. This is a Chinese company that's U.S.-based. Why? Because China banned everything. The U.S.-based company recently announced a joint venture that removes intermediaries in the port supply chain. I'm not saying this technology ain't the bomb. It is. It's changing the world. I'm questioning who's putting it in place and where and how. Speaking on how Africa can leverage blockchain, Wu said digitizing asset production and distribution would put the continent on the forefront of the commodities market, same way it leads the mobile money market. You know what this is right now? It's like the the gold rush. See, China doesn't have to actually go to Africa and dig up all the minerals. You know what they're doing? They're selling them the picks and the shovels. That's what they're doing. And who makes the most money? The people actually mining the minerals, or the ones selling them the tools to do so? Having a better tomorrow for Africa is about having a more transparent future, and blockchain can help there. In an interview with Quartz, Wu said his company is currently studying the African market and is open to partnering with countries such as, ready for it, Emma, Nigeria, and Kenya. You know what I want to see? Forget China. There are plenty of African companies that are researching the blockchain and creating their own blockchain. If these leaders are smart, if the leaders in Africa are smart, they would go with African companies investing and creating the blockchain. They call up Akon, who's trying to build Wakanda out there with the A coin. Keep it in-house. How many times do you have to go through this in history to see it over and over again, an outside force come in and steal all your loot? Yet you're going to do it again now with China? But China's got money, and they could pay off all the leaders and give them billions of dollars in loans. And history is going to repeat itself, I'm afraid. There are African countries that's doing companies that can do this. So he's saying it right now. Yeah, we're going to study the African market. We're going to come in there in Nigeria and Kenya. We're going to create our own Asian Wakanda. Now, to my Asian brothers and sisters, I am not putting y'all down at all. I ain't mad at you. Anyways, he believes the continent can profit from adopting the blockchain technology and use it to save millions of dollars earned from the sales of commodities, which is often lost to corruption and money laundering. Wu's desire to see Africa profit from the blockchain technology follows a similar assessment from the CEO of a diversified financial company, Alexander Forbes, Andrew Darfour. Darfour had told CCN in an interview in Harare, blockchain is something that we are investigating and we are assessing it. I think blockchain has benefits, but I think it's a broader digital strategy. You better rethink that. Change what you're saying to I think to I know is going to have benefits. Because while you're thinking, the Chinese are moving, and they move in on your territory. This is a modern day colonization without having to ship all their people across the seas to colonize new land. That's what this is. You guys don't realize that we are living at the vanguard of a new age here. This is a new age. This is a new world. Only it's digital. And the digital world is being colonized. Who's going to be the first? Russia's all over it. Iran is all over it. China is all over it. The United States is trying to keep the old ways going so far. Africa has a continent has been on the fence regarding the use of blockchain. It's been a mixture of reticence and strong-handedness. So far, Kenya has been the focal point in the continent, where the government has set up a task force hoping to study its benefits and challenges. This hasn't stopped the adoption of the technology, as it's being applied for elections and in the health sector. Other African countries like South Africa have taken it a step further by running a blockchain pilot for the banking sector to cut down processing time for settlement. That's good news. My only suggestion, since I can't give advice, keep it in-house. Keep it in-house. Hold on, somebody trying to call me from Alabama. All right. Staying in Africa. Let's go to Kenya, where I just mentioned Kenya, right? Kenya's blockchain task force advises government to replace cash with digital currency. Oh, wow. You see that? Replace cash with digital currency. You don't think that's going to be a domino effect? Even Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer said it's going to happen here in America, too. The chairman of the Distributed Ledgers and Artificial Intelligence Task Force, Bitanji Ndimu, has advised the Kenyan government to tokenize its economy in order to deal with the increasing issues of corruption and uncertainty. It's starting to look like Akon is a freaking genius, or he's just the first. Ndimu made known his opinion during a meeting between the Kenyan ICT ministry stakeholders and members of the private sector. He noted that the East African country needs a digital currency that would stand side by side with fiat. We must begin to tokenize the economy by giving incentives to young people to do things which they are paid through tokens that can be converted to fiat currency, Ndimu said. Kenya is open to innovation. As one of Africa's leading countries in terms of blockchain and cryptocurrency development, some of the region's largest blockchain remittances originated from Kenya. Beyond remittances, the East African nation is notable for the friendly environment that it provides for not just blockchain, but technological innovations in general. Active legislative discussions over blockchain and cryptocurrency-related programs show the interest that the Kenyan government have in blockchain technology. This is evident in the government's effort towards finding proper regulatory frameworks from the technology over time. You know what it's looking like? You've got African nations that are rapidly adopting this blockchain and thinking about bringing their currency onto the blockchain and crypto and digital. And I was having a talk with a relative of mine the other day, talking about, because, you know, he knows I'm in crypto, and he's very religious. He was talking about Revelations and how, you know, mark of the beast and how everything can come to pass at the end times, and what type of technology is going to be needed for this to happen. And we are living it right now. We are witnessing the technology that can make it Revelations true. And one of the things that he always talked about was, you know, America is only 242 years old, yet America is not mentioned in Revelations. You know, the top nations are represented by animals, the bear, the dragon, UK is, but not America. And that leads to believe when the end times come, will the United States be what it is today? Will the United States be the dominant force in the world? Nations have risen and fallen before. The Roman Empire had over 1,500 years of dominance. Where you think how the Romans were during that time, they never thought that their nation would ever come to an end. And it did. America, 242 years old, what could bring our downfall? It will happen from within, because there's no nation that can dominate us militaristically. But what happens if you take our economy? What happens if we have a recession that we can never come out of? What happens if we turn into Venezuela and we don't adopt this technology right now? We don't get prepared for it, but Africa all of a sudden does. And now the United States looks like Africa, and Africa looks like the United States. Well, don't think it can't happen. That's all I'm saying. I went on a tangent there. Let me stay on point. All right. Active legislation discussions over blockchain and cryptocurrency-related programs show the interest that the Kenyan government have in blockchain technology. This is evident in the government's effort towards finding proper regulatory frameworks for the technology over time. In August 2018, the country's electoral commission even shows signs of adopting blockchain technology in voting processes. Here's how you know if our government is corrupt. if the United States government does not allow mass adoption of blockchain when it comes to our elections and voting, you know that everything over the past 200 years has been a fraud. Because they want corruption in the election process. They want to allow voter suppression. Why wouldn't you allow blockchain in the voting process? That makes it, 100% legit. No more hanging chads down in Florida. No more having to do recounts. Even Donald Trump, before he was elected, you know what he said? If I lose, it's because it was rigged. If I win, it wasn't rigged. Blockchain cuts all that noise. Ain't none of that. So why wouldn't you want that to happen unless you're trying to do something shady? According to Indimo, tokens are like bonga points given by mobile operators or loyalty points. What's bonga points? I've never heard of that. Bonga points given by mobile operators or loyalty points. Okay. Loyalty points given at the supermarkets. I understand that. It can be converted to coins and used to buy goods of any choice by the user. That's another reason why you're going to see every company out there, even individuals, are going to come up with their own coins. Even the big companies, they're going to have like their own IBM coin, their own Walmart coin, their own Amazon coin that has its own value to it to buy stuff through Amazon, to buy stuff through Walmart, that you're going to be able to cash out. Watch. Mark my words, Kim Kardashian is going to be walking around with her Kardashian coin. Watch. Hell, I'm coming out with the freaking BBC. You know what that is? The Bitcoin Brandon coin. Yep. More education is needed. Oh, what do you know? More education is needed. What do you think we got cryptogenics for? The Distributed Ledgers and Artificial Intelligence Task Force, which was inaugurated in March, has earlier recommended a central bank digital currency to operate in fixed nominal terms and as a valid legal tender. This is an idea that has been abolished or rather sidelined for the time being. ICT's Jerome O'Ching, however, noted that there needs to be an increased level of awareness about tokens and how to use them before any major steps can be taken. He sees public enlightenment in this area as a very crucial factor that must be put in place before any advanced government action. We are not very enthusiastic at the moment, but of course, it will come. But we first want people to understand use of tokens, says O'Ching. And DMU's task force continues in its assignment to determine the appropriate and implementable use cases of blockchain technology within the Kenyan technological and economic environment. This will further enhance the country's position as a hub for innovation and a fast-developing nation, especially when it comes to innovation. Go Kenya. Not once did I hear any mention of China and Chinese money. They're doing it all in-house. I love it. I love it. That's what I'm talking about. Speaking of education, my number one rule is you must get educated. It is everything before you enter this space. You must be willing to invest in yourself. And if you're brand new and you don't even know where to begin, because I was brand new at one point, I didn't know where to begin. I went to YouTube and Google and millions of articles popped up. I was getting misinformation. I didn't know who was telling the truth, who was not. It was trial and error. It took me 6 months to weave through everything. You don't have to do all that. We put an education program in place that's going to teach you everything you need to know, but it comes with a cost. And if you're not willing to pay, you don't need to be in this space. It blows my mind. People are willing to put $10,000 down on word from somebody else to invest in something that they don't even understand, but they don't want to put $300 down to get educated first. If that's you, stay far away from me. I will not invest with, work with, or engage with anybody who refuses to get crypto education. Don't even call me. Don't be asking my advice. You want my advice? Take $300, get educated first, then we can talk. You got to be willing to invest in yourself. Also, invest in events. I travel the world going to events. Last time I traveled overseas, I went to London for a blockchain expo. The next event that I have committed to I was reluctant because I didn't know my schedule, is this event taking place in LA, October 22nd through the 24th at the LA Convention Center. Sustainable investing in blockchain technologies. Got to invest in yourself. This is how you learn. I'm going to go here. I want to see what businesses show up. I want to know what new blockchain ideas are popping up. Even they got some of the speakers here. One of the main speakers that I want to hear from is Tim Draper. There's a reason why that will be revealed later on. But I want to hear from Tim Draper. I want to hear from these people. I want to know what's happening. Steve Wozniak's going to be there. And what's funny about him, just 4 months ago, he said, I sold all my Bitcoin every day. It was too volatile. That was just 4 months ago. Oh, but now you are a panelist at a crypto blockchain thing. You've seen the light. He's always seen the light. He's been up to something behind the scenes, just like Bill Gates has. But I want to hear from Steve Wozniak, Tim Draper, Dan Moorhead, Betsy Kavita, because I've been hearing a lot about consensus. I want to know what the new deal is, that I can make my own educated decisions on what I want to invest and where I want to move, and get it like an inside track, because the next stage in my own personal crypto portfolio is not just owning coins. It is investing in these companies. And I'm not talking about $500 or $1,000. I'm talking about being able to put $100,000 to $200,000, $300,000 in on a new startup blockchain company that can yield me millions. How do I know what companies there are? I need to go here. I need to talk to these people. I need to see what they're doing. One thing that I learned when I went to the London Blockchain Expo was that 50% of the people in the room didn't even understand what the blockchain was. And I'm like, this is the Blockchain Expo. You have a booth set up. I walked around, right, talking to people in the booths, asking questions. And when you got them off their talking points, they looked at me like deer caught in headlights. They had no idea what was going on. All they knew was the company talking points. I'm like, you guys don't even know what's going on. 50% of the room. And if you have education, you're able to see who's full of BS and what might be the next Amazon. Look at all these doggone speakers. So it's in my backyard. So yeah, I'm going to commit to being there. I know there's going to be people flying in from our team. So we're going to have a chance to sit down with team members, strategize. We've got 3 months left in this year, getting ready for 2019. So I'm looking forward to meeting up with our team leaders that fly in. We'll have our own powwow sessions and hang out with each other. So this is going to be a good event. I'm actually getting more and more excited about it the more I think about it. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday that week. And then I'm supposed to fly out either a Bitcoin boot camp the end of that week, or I'm going to my Morehouse homecoming in Atlanta the end of that week, the 26th of October. Anyways, now let's go into the next two articles. We're going to talk about, and again, I must say, I am not a licensed financial advisor to be dispensing financial advice. But this type of news is mostly always followed by a bump in the price of the coin. Let's see if it's going to be justified. Ripple announces $105 million philanthropy venture. I wonder if this has to do with Bill Gates. If they don't mention Bill Gates at all, and this is something else, yeah, I expect another bump in the Ripple, because the Gates Foundation has already announced their partnership with another company that is using Ripple and the Ethereum blockchain. And if the Gates Foundation is involved, we're not talking about a couple $100,000. We're talking about hundreds of millions and billions of dollars. So, one of the crypto industry heavyweights trying to revolutionize the payments industry by applying blockchain technology has announced its social impact program, dubbed Ripple for Good. The initiative will focus on supporting projects that are focused on financial inclusion and education. Oh, wait, what is the date to let me put this link so that you can look at it. This is for the October event. The Blockchain Expo in Santa Clara is November 28th and 29th. It's a Tuesday and Wednesday, or Wednesday and Thursday. I think it's Wednesday and Thursday of that week. All right. In addition to $80 million worth of donations, Ripple is allocating $25 million of its own funds to the nonprofit initiative. According to a press release, the initiative illustrates Ripple's focus on education, particularly in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So it's called STEM. Remember that term. And fintech sectors. The firm believes that education is the key. Oh, hold up. Are they listening to my crypto talks now? What do I say? Education is the key. Education is everything. What is this dude saying? Or the firm is saying? The firm believes that education is the key factor behind innovation and has already contributed to it by donating $50 million to 17 universities. You know what? I need to talk to KGX. We need to get sponsored. Let's let one of these firms donate some $50 million to KGX. Hey, that's what I'm saying. We're bringing it to the masses. Not everybody's going to join these universities just to get crypto education. All that is for the next generation of the millennials. What about all of you Gen Xers and baby boomers? You're not going back to school. So how are you going to get your crypto education on? KGX. Ripple for Good, remember that term, Ripple for Good, will focus on real-world applications of the blockchain technology with the potential of social impact. This is interesting because Ripple has traditionally been used by banking systems, banks. But now they have this feel-good initiative going on. Personally, I don't trust it, but I'm not knocking it. According to Ken Weber, head of social impact at Ripple, if we are truly committed to transformative global change, we will work to help ensure that innovations in banking, there you go, banking is number one on their books, and global payments are available everywhere to everyone, among unbanked and underbanked populations and in economies and economic sectors that serve the greater good. Our goal is to deliver on the promise of an internet of value for all. Okay, I'll stop right there because I know somebody's going to ask me, why don't you trust this, Brandon? Here's the deal. Cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin was designed to let everybody have an equal playing field, even the unbanked populations of the world. Why is it good? Because it's not controlled by a bank. It's not controlled by a government. It's not controlled by a company. Completely independent. We want to get away from the system because the banking system, as we know it, has failed us. My problem with Ripple is that Ripple's allowing the same institutions that have failed us the opportunity to get into the crypto space and keep things moving. The same people taking advantage of so-called crypto, and now they're going after the unbanked that they never had control of in the first place. And they're doing it all under this guise of, oh yeah, transformative global change, Ripple for Good. We're going to donate money for the people. We want to bring everybody together, give them a chance to have the bank. Yeah, bank with you. You guys still control the system. I don't trust it. But I will invest in it. Why? Because there's money to be made. I'm not stupid. Ripple for Good will work in tandem with Ripple Works, a nonprofit that supports social initiatives across a number of sectors, including education and financial inclusion. Its CEO and co-founder, Doug Galen, said that in 4 years, Ripple Works has worked on 70 projects in 55 countries and improved lives of 250 million people. Oh man, I don't trust you at all. You're helping to improve lives, but you have an agenda. Always, this is how I think. I'm always looking at what somebody's agenda is. What's their angle? And I know what Ripple's angle is here. Ripple's co-founder, Chris Larson, has added that we have to stop being self-righteous disruptors. Oh, so I'm going to call you Jesus now? Self-righteous disruptors, and instead focus on building things that solve real-world problems. If we focus the blockchain movement on that, over 2 billion underbanked people can become full economic citizens. That's already in place. They don't need you for that. We don't need an agency controlling that. That's defeating the purpose. Charity initiatives are becoming more frequent in the crypto world. Back in June, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong revealed Give Crypto, a charity accepting donations in crypto. The fund will help people in third world countries to gain access to banking service. There's another thing. I don't trust it. Coinbase is involved. I don't trust it. Earlier this year, Ripple teamed up with the famous actor Ashton Kutcher to donate $4 million to Ellen DeGeneres. This is like the Chinese approach. Yeah, we're going to give you guys in Africa, we're going to give you $60 billion. And oh yeah, when you can't pay it off, we're going to take over. All I see here, the ultimate goal, is to now extend their hand, extend their reach to a bunch of people that they've never been able to control through traditional banking before. Now they can. That's what I see here. Under the guise of, oh yeah, we're going to donate. We want to help. Really? Ripple's native XRP currency has been a subject of debate recently after its unprecedented surge. Following the news that the X-Rapid solution will be released this fall, XRP's price has skyrocketed from 26 cents on September 18th to around $53 at press time. They didn't mention Bill Gates at all. So I predict you're going to see another bump in the Ripple price within the next week or so. Something's going on here. They're all coming into this space wanting to be philanthropists using Ripple. Why don't you be a philanthropist using Bitcoin, using Ethereum? Well, kind of they are using Ethereum, which leads into the last article of this morning's Crypto Talk. Ethereum, another coin that might have a bump off of some news. So let me post that here. All right, FundStrat's Tom Lee predicts Ethereum to surge to $1,900 by late 2019. $1,900? Let's look at what's the price of Ethereum right now? $230. So he predicts it's going to be worth $1,900 by the end of next year. So that means right now is a good time to buy and hold. If you're looking for instant income or immediate income, that's not what this is about. It's looking at long term. The current lack of major cryptocurrency market movement would not seem to have deterred analysts from making spectacular price forecasts. Most recently, FundStrat's head of research, Tom Lee, has made the rounds with a fresh bullish prediction for Ethereum. Specifically, Bloomberg reports that Tom Lee supposedly believes that Ethereum is about to see a trend reversal and will subsequently rally strong. The perhaps most notable aspect of Lee's prediction, however, is the sheer magnitude with which he expects Ethereum to increase. Lee has given a guidance for Ethereum to reach a mind-boggling price of $1,900 per token at the end of next year. At the time of writing, Ethereum has seen slight gains during the past few weeks and is now trading around $226. Okay, I want to look at something here. Let's go back to December 2017. So December 2017, Ethereum got all the way up to $1,327. It's a little higher than that, but yeah, $1,327. To do that, the entire crypto market cap was over 800 billion. Okay? And that rose the entire market with it. So if the market cap right now is 221 billion and Ethereum's at $230, by default, we need to see this market cap go over 600, 700 billion dollars, which means all the other coins are going to rise by default with it, unless there's some huge major news that all of a sudden the demand for Ethereum skyrockets by itself, which I don't see that happening. I think all the markets are going to rise relatively. So just keep an eye on that. When you see this total market cap start to get above 400 billion, 500 billion, this by default is going to rise as well. Same with Electroneum. We see Electroneum get back above 10 cents. All right, let's get back to the article. Gave you guys some free knowledge there, how to look at the charts. Okay. Furthermore, Lee argues that an overly negative sentiment on the Ethereum market is one of the key reasons as to why the cryptocurrency will be able to increase this massively in just a little over a year. Lee released a note to Fundstrat Global Advisors clients stating that this current market sentiment will act as a strong foundation for the substantial Ethereum market rebound he envisions. In other words, he's saying buy now. That's what he's saying. It's the cheapest it's ever going to be. Buy now. Moreover, Lee has also used the historical performance of Ethereum to reach this conclusion, noting that when the cryptocurrency underperformed peers by 2 standard deviations, it was about to see a subsequent price reversal. It should also be noted that if Ethereum does indeed reach a price of $1,900 by late 2019, this will constitute an all-time high for the cryptocurrency. Currently, Ethereum's all-time high is $1,349, around which it traded on January of this year. In addition to this, if Ethereum commands a market price of $1,900, this would constitute an increase of 840% compared to the current price. Nevertheless, this is not the first time that Lee has made his bullish position on cryptocurrencies known. Relatively recently, he predicted that Bitcoin could surge to $20,000 by the end of 2018. That's possible. It can still get there. If you look at the price of Bitcoin 1 year ago, now I think it was across 5,000 a year ago, and we're still going into October. $5,000, $6,000. But the end of November, going into December, it skyrocketed in just a matter of days. It was like every day it was going up $1,000. It can happen again. However, the prediction of Bitcoin trading around $20,000 this year is actually a revision from Lee's previous statement, where he envisioned it trading at levels around 25,000 this year. Lee retracted that position, however, acknowledging that this particular prediction appeared to be inaccurate. It remains to be seen whether Lee's Ethereum prediction will be accurate or not, but he is correct in noting that Ethereum has decreased substantially this year. Whether or not the currency is due for a trend reversal, however, is currently unclear. I say yes, simply because the entire crypto market cap is going to rise, and it is a top 10 coin. So those, you know what I'm going to do tonight on my crypto talk? I'm going to talk about a couple of things. Number one, as you enter this space, you need to be registered with crypto exchanges. This is how you buy and sell coins. I'm going to talk about tonight some of the exchanges that you should have an account with. And we're in preparation for stuff. That's all I'm going to say. You don't want to wait to the last minute, and then you got to go through the whole getting your account. So we're going to talk about that tonight. And also, I'll talk a little bit about crypto portfolios, what should be in your crypto portfolio for the long haul. I'm not looking at micro trading, short-term gains, which people make a whole lot of money doing that stuff, but I am in the long haul. So coins that I suggest, not advise, that I would suggest you have in your crypto portfolio for the long haul. Should I give this away for free though? I'll think about that. But I definitely will talk about the exchanges you need to be registered with, because things are happening, things are coming. I think I might save that other part for paid KGX members only. That's right. I'm not giving it away for free. Paid KGX members only. And I will answer a question that was given to me about, wait, let me go back and see what was his question again. I said I would address it on the live, and I forgot the question. Let me look at my phone here. Let's see. Oh, just curious. I know that you don't actively prospect, but what would you say to get someone to take a look at how about and a follow-up strategy for KGX? Oh, okay. You're right. I don't actively prospect. I don't go in people's inbox and saying, hey, you need crypto education. Hey, I got something for you. Hey, are you open to an opportunity? I don't do none of that stuff. But if you're going to be in a conversation with somebody, you might be at a bar, you might be at a party, you might be at a social gathering, and you're chatting with somebody. And a lot of times for me, it happens when people ask me, what do I do for a living? And I tell them I'm an advisor and an investor in cryptocurrency. What? Bitcoin stuff? You got that right. You do that full time? I live off of it. That's kind of how with me the convo starts. But if I am going to chat with somebody, I might say, let me ask you a question. Are you an investor? And see what they say. Are you, what is your crypto portfolio looking like? That's a foreign question for most people. A crypto portfolio? That sounds kind of sexy, actually. Yeah, I got a crypto portfolio. How about you? No, I ain't. I got a 401k. I laugh at that. 401k, that ain't a portfolio. I got an IRA account, that ain't a portfolio. What is your crypto portfolio looking like? How healthy is it? How strong is it? That always leads to more questions. Well, do you know much about crypto? Nah, not at all. Wow, how did you learn about it? Well, I went through a crypto education program. That's kind of how I do it. And it mostly happens when people are shooting me messages in an inbox. Like, Brandon, I was listening to your crypto talk. You know so much information. How can I learn some of that stuff? You got $300? Yep. All right. I'm going to send you a link that's going to teach you everything you need to know about crypto education. That's how I do it. I don't talk about KGX. I talk about crypto. I don't talk about recruiting and all that. I talk about investing, letting your money work for you. And since Monday, I think Monday is October 1st, I do my New Year's resolution the night before, tomorrow. So I will be doing, I haven't decided whether it's a conference call style or a crypto talk style. Maybe I'll do a crypto talk style. I'll turn the camera on. Now we're going to talk about New Year's resolution. We're going to talk about the secret. We're going to talk about getting your mind right. I'm going to do that tomorrow. Getting ready for the last 3 months of the year. So with that, I hope you guys learned something new today. As always, that is the point. Enjoy your weekend. Anybody that was traveling to, I already posted this in our KGX group. You're coming to LA for the event. The tickets are $499 a person, but if 3 or more people order it, it's $299. So I need to know because I'll get my ticket next week, and I got to get with a couple of people that are coming so you guys can get some discounts. So with that, you guys have a great day. I'll see you tonight with more crypto talk. We'll talk about the exchanges you need to be registered with. God bless. Have a good day. Bye-bye.